Hey everyone, Kyle here. This is Game Time. Welcome to another episode. Going to have a fun next few shows for you. I've been having some videos I've been wanting to do for a little while. They're all PlayStation themed, and I thought, what better way to do the next 3 or 4 videos kind of all together and have a sort of a PlayStation week here on Game Time. And don't worry, I'm not going to fanboy too much. We'll also have Nintendo and Xbox, Sega, Atari. We'll have dedicated weeks to them in the near future. But I thought I'd just start off with this one because, like I said, it's all planned anyway. We're going to take a look at my personal top 10 PlayStation Minis. These are fun little indie games that you can get mainly on the PS3, but they're also playable on the PSP and PS Vita. So if you have any of those, you probably have access to at least most of these. So should be kind of fun. And I want to give a shout out after you're done checking out this video. If you need more game time, check out Retro Revolutions. My buddy Jared, he's a fellow Cartridge Club member. I'll provide a link to his YouTube channel as well as Twitter because he's a fun guy to interact with and loves to chatty about video games, and he's very active. So great guy, check him out, and we'll see you next on Game Time. Alright everyone, my first mini here is Dual Invaders. This is a fun little sort of retro inspired game. You can play by yourself, or this is best played with a buddy actually. Adjust the camera here just a tiny bit. You actually control 2 ships at the same time. I'll show you how that's done here. I'm going to go solo. So as you can see, the left ship controls separate from the right ship. So it's kind of fun. I'm using the triangle and X buttons to move my blue ship. I'm using up and down on the D-pad to move my red ship. And I'm firing with the shoulder buttons. So as you can see, 2 players can play at the same time. You can't actually shoot, or you can shoot each other, so you do have to be careful here. And it's kind of interesting. Good hand-eye coordination because you're kind of controlling 2 ships at the same time here. Oh, see, I'm going to keep myself out of my own line of fire. So you're actually paying attention to 2 different ships at the same time. Fun to play with a friend. Pretty challenging too. It takes a lot of getting used to, but you can see some of the stuff they have here, settings, etc. Tutorial, you can play that. So fun little game, Dual Invaders. My next mini recommendation made a big splash when it debuted on the Xbox Live Arcade. Now it's a very popular game for your mobile phones and tablets, and it's also a lot of fun to play on the PS3 and PSP, the Impossible Game. In this game they give you 5 stages. They only say 4 levels, but you got the original level as well as some extra goodies. I think on the mobile version they kind of divide them up. But it has a fun little beat. The object is you're just an orange square. You're jumping over spikes, avoiding any pits there, like the thick black line on the bottom. Very good rhythm game too. The music's definitely the star of the game, which is why I'm being quiet. But you can see this is kind of all there is to it. It's simple, yet extremely challenging. A lot of it's pattern memorization. And I'm doing pretty good. I haven't played this in a little while, so. You kind of get the idea of what it's about. You kind of just jump on squares, jump over spikes. Simple, but like I said, a lot challenging. And when you get killed like that, you actually start from the very beginning. So you have to do it all in one sitting if you want to pass the stage. Luckily, each stage, roughly maybe... it's hard to say, maybe a minute or a minute and a half long. It's not overly long. I'll show you how challenging they get. We'll go to the last stage on here. And you can see how it kind of ramps up in difficulty. I found the 3rd stage to be kind of the most challenging because you're actually upside down for some of it. So everything's all inverted. Definitely, I think the best music as well. Oh, didn't get to the best part. But you kind of understand the idea of that. You can get a practice mode in there as well, which is essentially just the same game, but you can put flags as checkpoints anywhere. So if you get killed, you can go back to your recent checkpoint. It has some dumb music in there, but it's fun. The Impossible Game. This next one is a little bit of a cheat. It's called Ikari Warriors, and it's actually kind of an old school NES. Heck, it might have even been on Sega Master System. I'm not sure, but it definitely has been released previously, but the company decided to kind of downsize a little bit and release it for minis. SNK. I wonder if... No, it wasn't on Neo Geo. It couldn't have been. Either way, here you can see it's kind of arcade type, so this might be the arcade version as well. Either way, it kind of plays like Rambo on the Sega Master System, Commando, if you remember, kind of from the NES. Heck, he was even on the Atari. So sort of games like that, you can kind of play 1 or 2 players. It's extremely difficult. I'm gonna try to throw a grenade here, take them out. Luckily, the bullets and everything they shoot are pretty big, so you can kind of see them coming. But at the same time, them being big, they also take up a little bit of space and they're a little bit harder to dodge. You kind of got that old school top-down. This is definitely looks like it would be something from the early 90s. I think not just Commando, that game, arcade game Renegade, it was from Capcom. I think it also appeared on some sort of system, but plays pretty similar to this. So I kind of like games like these. These are pretty simple top-down shooters. Get some power-ups there, throw some grenades. Don't have any grenades, so got killed. Extremely difficult, but that's alright because this is just a quick look. Ikari Warriors, kind of a fun mini as well. The fourth one we'll take a look at here on this video is called Shift Extended. This is a fun little puzzle game for fans of like Portal or old school 2D puzzles. This is a must-have for your PlayStation 3, PSP, or PS Vita. Or PlayStation TV? I think so, maybe. So here we go with this. As you can hear from the music too, very old school. I'll try to be quiet again. In fact, I'll even turn it up a bit. So you see they kind of do a portal. The object is you're this guy, and the object for each stage is just to go through the door. Pretty simple. Sometimes there'll be obstacles. Oh no, I'll have to jump over it. But I think we managed that okay. Here's where the game takes a fun twist. Obviously, now we can't see, we can't jump over this. We hit these shoulder buttons, and now we kind of turn the world over. Able to get to the door that way. Gotta watch out for obstacles that would appear in the way. So you kind of get the idea. It's kind of switching from black to white. If you're on the, if you start off on the white section, you can't. The black is what is obstacles, but then when you're the black, it's the opposite there. And of course, obviously, the more we kind of play, the more tricky the stages become. We got locked doors there that we need to unlock. Go through here. But you kind of get the idea, obviously, and as well there's, with the over 100 plus stages, it does ramp up in difficulty the further you get. And we deal with moving platforms, and the checkered section is an area we can't get through. Oh, that's alright. So we unlock that to open up that key. That opens up that. And voila! So yeah, Shift Extended, actually a very fun and unique puzzle game that you can get on PS3 and PSP, PS Vita. Definitely worth checking out. The last game I want to highlight, keep in mind these are just 10 of my favorites, they're not in order by any means, is a little game called I Must Run. It's kind of a endless runner game. So yeah, I guess I'm an endless runner hipster because I actually really enjoyed this game before they became very popular on mobile phones and tablets. All you have to do is run. You jump over obstacles, you can also slide. You can punch objects over like that for extra points. You're an inmate escaping from prison, and your goal is to just run, run, run. It kind of reminds me of a Super Nintendo looking game. Pretty simple for now, but definitely later on they throw quite a few obstacles your way. And I like the screen shaking. Adds to the effect a little bit. Fun little backgrounds. Oh, if you get hit like that, that slows you down. I also forgot, yeah, you do have a double jump as well. Lets you roll a little bit for the extra long jumps you might need to take as the stages progress. I'll pause it here just for a second so you can kind of see what it looks like later on in the game. Oh, and magically we're transported to sort of a subway here. Getting hit slows you down a little bit. It doesn't necessarily mean game over, but meaning it slows you down, you don't get to jump quite as far when you're running a lot quicker. So there's some things to slide under. Definitely a lot of hand-eye coordination is needed and required for this, but I really enjoy it. And yeah, it's a highly recommended game here on Kyle's favorite top 10 minis. Again, in no order. We got 5 done, and I'm going to pause the video here, and I'm going to do a second part showcasing my next 5 favorite minis. That way the video doesn't run too long. So be sure to check that out. I'll provide a link in the description to that when that becomes available. In the meantime, again, check out Retro Revolutions, and we'll see you in the next video for my next 5 favorite PlayStation Mini titles.